What's up guys, it's Rose Millay, and this is going to be a really short video, but today I'm going to talk about why I don't like OnlyFans, and it may not be for the reasons you think. So first of all, the idea that somebody should have to pay to see certain images of another human being or pay to simply talk to somebody just kind of feels off to me. These are all things that anybody should just be able to have just by making friends and meeting people. So the people who are using these services are obviously people who have trouble in these areas. And I'm sure a lot of people look at this site as something good because the people who view OnlyFans as a net positive to society will determine two factors. One is it allows women to be paid for sex work, which is an industry that oftentimes women are exploited in, which is a huge problem. You know, the porn industry can be really disgusting based on how it treats women. And the other side of the coin is it allows these men, maybe it's to try to connect with these women, but like if you're buying someone's OnlyFans, like it's such a superficial connection. This person's never gonna go on a date with you, ever. And they probably hate you. Because the thing that I've noticed with these kinds of people is the people who make OnlyFans are like the type of people who on Twitter, like all of their posts are about them being horny and like, you know, all the stuff that they want people to do to them or whatever. That is to entice people to buy it. But I've talked to and seen a lot of people who like run these accounts, and these people in private hate the people that subscribe to them, like hate them with a burning passion. They think that their subscribers are weird and they're creepy and they're gross. And the only reason they make those accounts is because it's an easy source of money for them. But this just highlights a bigger issue for me. I remember when I was 16, I remember I was playing a game with somebody. And so this other woman just talks to me casually and starts bragging about how she was able to get this guy to send her $50 just for a feet picture. And, you know, it's just like laughed off. Everyone thought it was funny. It's like, haha, congratulations, get that bag, stuff like that, right? But when I look at that, I see exploitation of a vulnerable person. Because like, if you think about it, someone who's gonna send $50 for a feet picture isn't doing very well mentally. And I feel like those kind of people need help more than anything. And you're just encouraging them by like starting an OnlyFans or by like accepting money for things like feet pictures. You're not helping them. You're just enabling their behavior. Right? There's a lot of creepy men online. I've dealt with it myself. A lot of women have, and a lot of people in general have. But what OnlyFans and sites like that teach these creepy men is that it's okay because they can simply just pay to talk to a woman and they won't have to improve their social skills. They won't have to integrate with society, that they can act however they want because if they need to talk to a woman, they can just pay. And I feel like that's a problem because like I said, nobody should be having to pay for these things. If you have even the slightest bit of social skills, you should be able to find a romantic partner. You should be able to have friends, and you wouldn't have to pay money for these things. These people are miserable. They're sitting in their rooms. They're lonely. And by accepting money and giving them the things that they want for payment, you are just enabling their toxic behavior and you're making it worse for them. They're not going to be any happier because of it. It's a temporary solution that just doesn't work in the long run for these people. But for a lot of women, they just see it as, oh, I can make money and I can make easy money. And because it has that personal gain, they'll just overlook everything else. And another thing I have an issue with is people who take this job and then complain that there's a bunch of creepy men in the DMs. Obviously, it's a problem and men shouldn't be creepy, but it's part of like the job, right? I feel like if you choose to go on OnlyFans, you know what you're getting into. So I don't understand people who do that and then act surprised, act shocked, and act depressed because you could literally choose to work anywhere else, but you chose to do this specific job. No one's forcing you to, but if you choose to take the job, you need to understand what it comes with. And if you're not properly prepared to handle that, or if you mentally can't handle that, then you shouldn't take the job. Just point blank, you know? Overall, I guess what I'm getting at is I'm just sick and tired of seeing women exploit vulnerable men for their own personal financial gain and then laugh about it, act like it's so funny, and then complain about sexism being so horrible when their behavior enables it. And I'm in no way saying that, you know, obviously it's their fault. No, obviously it's not their fault that these men are the way they are. All I'm saying is that it just enables that behavior. There's so much more that you could do to actually help these people? I mean, we live in a society that's so capitalist, and I don't think necessarily that capitalism is bad, but when you put a price tag on literally everything, I think that's just a microcosm for how our society is becoming increasingly financially driven, and I think that that's a worrying trend. It's just so weird to me to see these girls who like talk about how they're socialist and to abolish capitalism. They'll complain on how literally everything is capitalist, and then they'll have like an OnlyFans account. And by the way, I just want to be clear about one thing, okay? I know that there's like this big stigma in society about people who do this stuff, and I disagree with it. I don't think it should be a stigma. I think the people that choose to sign up for these websites also have something wrong with them. They're probably going through some mental health issues. Either they need to seek validation, which I was one of those people. I desperately seek validation through the internet, not through OnlyFans, but you know, I've had my embarrassing years. Or they're just all too willing to exploit desperate people who are honestly just in need of like advice and social skills. And like I said, they're not going to learn that if they're being taught that you can just pay your problems away. That's not going to help them with what they need. And I understand, like, in the job market, jobs are tough. I would much rather take an OnlyFans job than have to sit through like 40 hours of labor. It's just so much easier. It's so much nicer, but it's also a privilege. You know, men can't do that. They can't just, you know, quit their job and then go on OnlyFans. That's a uniquely female luxury. And it's like an exchange. It's like, okay, you don't have to do all this work, but if you choose to do that, then you're gonna have to deal with some pretty awful messages. And like I said, if you can't handle that, then you should just work a regular job, which is totally fine because a lot of people do that and good for them. It's a very niche, specialized thing, this website. It appeals to a certain type of person, and there are some really good benefits to it, which is why people turn to it. But the thing that bothers me a lot, and this is one of my biggest problems, and I want to clarify this, is when people discover that somebody has an OnlyFans account and then they get like fired from their job or their school, or they get socially shunned for it. I do not understand that. That is stupid to me. Why does somebody having an OnlyFans account make them less qualified for a job? Why does it make them seem less professional? That's just so stupid to me. I really do think that that's a really toxic part of cancel culture, which I hate. You know, someone having that kind of website, it literally means nothing, right? I feel like there's just this panic of, oh, I'm so scared people are going to find out about these pictures, and it's just needless stress. And I wish that people like stopped caring about it. It's like, at the end of the day, I don't support the site because a lot of people say it's a more ethical site compared to these other websites, but it's just a different type of exploitation. I don't watch porn, you know, not because I think it's unethical or anything. I'm just not interested in it. It doesn't do anything for me. But I don't care if other people do. It's just like a natural human thing. It's like, you know what? Do your thing. I don't care. I just don't think that it's right to take money from people who are desperately in need of help. These really vulnerable people in society that I've seen both men and women laugh at. It's all around the board, these issues, right? Because you'll see many of these edgy gamer boys on YouTube who will make videos being like, oh lol, look at these desperate people, they have to pay, this is so funny, this is so hilarious, right? Men are guilty of this too. And then there's so many women who are like, oh, I just got this pathetic boy to like send me this money for a feet picture, lol. It's like everyone acknowledges there's a problem, but I think the common thing to do is just to laugh at it instead of just like sit there and think this is a problem, what can we do about it? Because it's so easy to say, ha, I'm better than that person, at least I'm not that person. But it's just like, I have an issue with people who benefit from exploiting people, and there's countless examples of this in capitalism, which I think needs to be regulated, but I'm definitely not a socialist. But so many people just turn a blind eye when it comes to this particular problem, and I don't think that should be the case. I think it's important to be very careful when you talk about these things, but I think it is still a problem, and I do think people need to address it properly. So again, that's my personal opinion. Hopefully things do get better, and hopefully you guys understand my points. It's Rose Millet. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Chris Hansen here. I have a message for you, Rose Mullet. Thank you for the wonderful entertainment you have provided us with. I'm gonna need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rose
Millet.
Warning, very sad. Why don't I have 1 million subs yet? This isn't fair, give me subs. If you wanted sandwiches, you could have just asked. Or you could subscribe to Rose Mullet's channel. I think I'll take the sandwiches.